To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So today is June 3rd, and these guys really should be outside. They're big enough for June 3rd to be outside. The temperature should be in their 80s, I guess, and it's just not. It's just too cold for these guys to be outside, which is unfortunate. I mean, we bought them thinking, okay, it's June. We can put them out in this camper, which now is our shed. We can raise them outside instead of bring them inside. So at night when it gets cold in here, we put hot water bottles in there. I get up at 3 o'clock. Carolyn stays up to midnight. She puts in a set. And then I get up at 3 o'clock. I put in a set, keep them warm. It's a shame. I really didn't want to have to raise chickens in the house again. I was kind of done with that, but it is what it is. So we'll get through it. Hopefully the temperature will go up. But even last night it was 55 degrees. It was quite chilly. So I caught an escaped prisoner today over there, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I wanted to come down and I wanted to show you these chickens. I know a lot of people like the updates on the chickens. Now, I want to kind of talk about a few things today, kind of like not necessarily question answer, but kind of just a housekeeping video, I guess. Different things I wanted to talk about, different things questions that have been asked. So I think we actually have a chicken here who might have a learning disability, for lack of a better word. Little girl, I showed you little girl a while back. She's picked on. She's back here at the back. You can see her walking away. She just doesn't act like she's got all her senses together. It's really sad. And we've been noticing this over the last couple of weeks. Of course, we really started paying attention to her when she got sick. See, that rooster's gonna come over here and pick her. No, he just moved her out of the way. Like I said, when she got sick, we started paying attention to her. She gets picked on, so she comes out and eats more grass than she should. But today, for example, we threw some chicken scraps, cooked chicken scraps, in here so they could get some protein. We knew she wouldn't be able to get any because all the other chickens would grab it before she could get it and push her out of the way, just like they always do. So I brought her outside the fence and I set her right here. Well, now she thinks she's still in the fence area. She's next to the chickens. And so we put chicken right here and she pecked at it, but she wouldn't eat it. And she does that all the time. She just always seems dazed and confused. So other than that one time she got sick, she's mostly healthy, and I don't know if she's happy. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to get another tent like this. It's on order. It'll be here Monday. This is Thursday. And we're going to set up a second run for the smaller chickens. We got these New Hampshires over here, and they're not big enough to put in with the rest of them just yet. And then we got the ones in the house. When they get big enough, these guys can come over here with them at that time, and then we'll put the smaller ones in that other run. I think I'm going to put little girl in that other run with the littler chickens and just see how well they all get along. I've tried to put little girl with them before and she picked on them, but these guys were quite a bit smaller. And it was in the camper, so the space was limited. Maybe if I put them in the run together, they'll get along. We'll see. So I'm going to get that Monday and I'll set that up. I'm also going to put windows on the chicken coop so I can look in on them. So I'll do all that on Monday. Now, as you know, we've been canning our food and we're getting a pretty good start on it. We don't have a lot yet. There's a lot of homestead videos out there. They got hundreds of jars of canned food. We've done 4 batches so far, 2 days, 4 batches. And we've got 40 cans of food. That's 40 days worth of food. I got more jars coming. So today I think I'm getting quart jars, and I'm not sure when I'm getting more pint jars. As soon as we get more pint jars, we're gonna go back and get more chicken at the store for 54 cents a pound, and then we'll can some more chicken. I forget how many jars I bought, but I think that'll give us 80 days worth of food. That's 80 jars of food. I mean, that'd be pretty good. But I did get a question. There was a disabled person, well, I assume she's disabled. I mean, it would seem to make sense. And she asked, how can I can food? I can't lift anything. Well, Carolyn came up with a pretty good idea. Carolyn has held or hosted a canning party. If you want to learn how to can or you don't have the ability to can, if you got some friends you can invite over, canning's a lot of work. And you all can participate. Not only can you learn, but if you're wanting to do like jams or something, you got to clean those berries and jam them all up, and it's a lot of work. Whatever the recipe is, chicken, we had to cook the chicken, debone the chicken. So if you had a canning party and several people brought their canners over or whatever the case is, everybody could get together and work on it all and learn. And for those who have disabilities, for example, can't lift anything, maybe that person can be the deboner. And you got another person sterilizing the jars and doing dishes. I mean, there's just a lot of work. The more people you have, the easier it is. Of course, you'd be doing larger batches because everybody's going to want to get some jars out of that. But it's an idea where communities can come together and work together on a project to be more self-sustaining and learning how to do things and working together. So that's Carolyn's suggestion. I thought it was a brilliant idea and one I wanted to pass on to you. Now, the other day when we were canning, I told you that we had a lot of calcium in our water because we have well water. And actually a few people suggested to put a little bit of vinegar in your pressure canner to remove that so it doesn't stick to the jars, which is fine. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to put more money into canning vinegar. I can just take a rag and wipe the calcium off. But somebody did ask, doesn't the Berkey take calcium and minerals out of the water? Well, first of all, I wouldn't use the Berkey water to can. Berkey filters are pretty expensive, and if you're just using it for everything other than to consume, you'd wear them out a little faster. They're designed to last 6 years, but if you use it for everything, they'd only last a few years and you'd have to replace them more often. But secondly, Berkey is not designed to remove calcium and minerals. It's actually designed to leave the calcium and minerals in it because calcium and minerals are good for you. Berkey's only designed to take the bad things out. Now, if you wanted to remove the calcium from your well water, you would have to get what's called a water softener. You put salt in it. I had one before. There isn't any filtration system that I'm aware of other than the water softener that does remove minerals. You go to Berkey's website, it specifically says that they leave that in there on purpose because it's good for you. Because if you start removing all the minerals from your water, where else are you going to get the minerals from? Now, for those who doesn't know what a Berkey is a water purification system, and we use it everything we drink. Coffee, drinking water. We don't drink anything but water. Oh, I mean, occasionally we'll go out and buy a soda, but that's a rare occasion. I bet we haven't had a soda maybe once a month. We'll go to Subway and we might pick up a soda. But if you're interested in Berkey, I'm not a sponsor of Berkey. Go to their webpage, just type it in, Berkey water purification. I really like their system. So this morning, I had a brilliant idea. It was a little bit warm today. Of course, it's going to get cold again tonight, but it was a little bit warm. It was in the 70s, so I thought the birds that were 6 weeks old could come out here. So I made this little temporary shelter. I don't know, can you see the fence here? I just put it up real quick. I was just wrapped around trees. It's not nailed into anything. It's held in by rocks and different things. And I've done this before. It's flimsy, and it works good for smaller birds. And I brought them out here. Carolyn and I sat on the porch so we could watch them. And I don't know, we were out here a half hour and we noticed that one had slipped under, well, actually right here. And so I came down and I went to grab her. Now, like little girl, you let her out of her cage over there, she stays right by the fence. Well, this one didn't. It just started roaming around, which is kind of odd to me. I've always seen chickens stay together. But this one didn't. It started walking off. So I thought, whoa, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. She came over here into the bushes. I've just never seen a chicken stray that far away from the rest of the flock. I came over here, and of course, I'm terrified of snakes. But you can see this is where all the berries that Carolyn collects throughout the springtime. So this is her little patch of blackberries. And so I stomped around trying not to damage the blackberries. And I just couldn't find her. I mean, she was in here, but I couldn't find her. You can see I've stomped around quite a bit. I've put the other chickens away. I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes later, she came back out. Just walked straight up to the porch area. She didn't go back to the chicken coop. I decided I wasn't going to chase her this time and run her off into the bushes. I made a homemade makeshift net. We got this little netting material. It's for koi ponds is what it is. And we use it down there in the chicken coop to separate the smaller chickens from the bigger chickens. Used a clothes hanger, wrapped it around, and it made a pretty good net, a little PVC pipe, and I was able to catch her. Stupid me thought, well, I'll put her back in here, see if I can figure out where the hole is. She instantly went right back to the hole and got out again. Well, this time I got the net, so I'm a little bit more confident that I can catch her. But sure enough, she walked back down into the bushes. So we have an escaped prisoner. I can't get her out of there. So I've been digging around here, poking around with the rake handle, seeing if I could get her to make a noise. And I know she's just right in here. Oh, it's a plastic bag. I thought I saw her there for a second. So we'll stick around and see if she'll come out. I'm just really nervous that she's gonna be difficult to catch. I've had chickens most of my life. If they get out, it really usually is not a big deal. I think this one's a barred rock is what it's called. Apparently they're a little bit independent. And the other thing is she's been showing symptoms of being sick. So we had her separated for a while until today she was acting a lot better. And so we thought we'd bring her out. Oh, I tell you, I just like animals too much. You know, I don't mind butchering. I've butchered before. People think that it's difficult to butcher animals. I don't have a problem. I realize they're farm animals. As long as you make it quick and they don't have to suffer. But when things start suffering, I really struggle with that. But I do my best to take care of things, and I just hate it when I make mistakes like this. It just eats me up. So hopefully she'll come back and I can catch her. I don't know why I was stupid enough to put her back in there a second time. So I hope I can inspire you to be happy. Thanks for watching.